we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. My name's Chad.
I'm Alana.
And we are the Bushbirds. Hey, we want to say thank you for subscribing today.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate every one of you. There we go. And we're back. All right. We appreciate every one of you. You know what? You can sit with us. Come on in.
Yeah,
you can sit
you're
with
welcome
us.
here.
You are welcome here with us at this table. Listen, we're going to do a little video about Blake Lively. We found some stuff on there later on. But right now, we're going to do what we said we were going to do. Now, a couple things I want to point out. First of all, we're going to be deleting a lot of our old videos, not because we're trying to hide anything, but because you guys have been here the whole time, mainly because it's not us anymore. And it's pretty much over with. I mean, Blake can try to do all she's doing, but it's
the damage is done.
The damage is done, exactly. Also, we had a big turnout yesterday. We appreciate you. A lot of support for what we're about to go into and what we're about to do. I hear the fan, but that's okay. We'll just keep moving along. A lot of support for what we're about to do, and that's amazing, and we appreciate that. A couple things that I want to say. First of all, people have said we're not into religion. We're not into religion. I think you may be scared about what's going to happen. Well, we're not into religion either. We don't like man-made religion. You know, if you think about, even in the Old Testament, before Jesus came along, there was the Old Covenant, right? They had 10 commandments to live by. Right. It was so important that God had to make them twice because Moses destroyed the first ones when he came down the mountain. All the Sanhedrin were like, oh, while you were up there, God told us something different. We're going to worship this cow over there. You know, the cow with the boobies and that rhymes with bathroom mat. Yeah, that one. They were like, we're going to do that. So he got mad and destroyed those. Can you imagine, God, how many times God's rolled his eyes like, oh, man, I got to make those again. That was important. That was important. Why'd you do that? And then they just kept screwing it up. They took the 10 commandments and then made 600 rules, 700 rules about everything. You got to do this. Everything's unclean, blah, 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 this, that. You got to do this. We're going to tax you over everything. They were the ones that created the permits to fish for the first time. They were charging people. They were coming to the temple and they charged them a temple tax. In order to come in and worship God, you got to have a tax and stuff. It was crazy. It was crazy. So Jesus changed all that. He kind of did away with religion. That was kind of what he was doing, is like, yo, you don't have to do that. You know how many times he healed people on the Sabbath day just to piss off the Pharisees? So when we talk about, too, going into the future about the Jews, we're not talking about all the Jews either. We're talking about the Pharisees. They were the bad guys, right? It's weird how it always ends up being the leadership that's the bad guys, you know, everywhere you go. Even here in the United States, you look at it and it's like, well, this one's good. This one's good. No, they're both bad. They're all bad. They're all crappy. They're all just shitty people. And they somehow get into power. It's because they're all related. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always the people, not the people, but the ones at the top. They're always the bad guys. All right. So we're not into religion either. We're not here to preach to you. We're here just to show you stuff and have fun with it. And that's what we're going to do.
Go on a journey.
On a journey. All right. Check this out. We're going to go over here real quick. Got to show you, of course. We have an Amazon store. Go check all this stuff out. This is stuff we actually use, too. It's not just junk we're throwing at you. Stuff we use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of stuff. Red light therapy, little gym we got. Golden saffron. That stuff smells so good. And it tastes good. All right. Then we also have what? The Bushbirds stuff. Yeah, we still got the flocker on there. We haven't changed. We're good to go. Look at all that. We got coffee cups and such. All right. Also wanted to point out this channel I've been watching lately, Expedition Bible. This dude's cool. He's an archaeologist. 100, what is that? 111 million subscribers?
1.11 million.
Wow. Oh, right. 111 million. That's a lot. That's like almost half the people in the United States or something. Anyway, yeah. So he's got a lot of subscribers for 52 videos. And it's really cool. He goes through, he's an archaeologist. He shows the different things in the Bible and how it adds up. It's cool that he actually talks to a lot of just like Jewish archaeologists, people who aren't Christian, and they kind of back up what he's saying. It's pretty amazing stuff. Go check it out. All right. What we're going to do, guys, we're going to read a little bit of the Bible today. I was reading some this morning, and I love this story. It stood out to me.
Okay.
First, I want to say this. The thing about the Bible, right? Like I said, not into religion. This is what my dad used to tell me. He was a youth minister and whatnot. And I'd ask him questions, and instead of just giving me an answer like most people like to do, most people are like the Pharisees. They like the worship. They like to be the ones worship. They like to be the source of your God and your power. And you got to come to me. You got to pay me a tax. You got to come to my church, this particular one, and all this. But my dad used to tell me, you know what you need to do? You need to read your Bible. It's the living word. And I was like, the living word? What does that even mean? But then I didn't understand it. It was all boring to me back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? The so-and-so begat so-and-so, and I didn't care about none of that stuff. And I was like, living word? What the heck are you talking about? I'm going to go skateboard, bruh. But anyway, I didn't realize until lately what that meant. When I would literally be going through something or questioning this or questioning that and want to talk, wondering about this and that. And then I would open the Bible and literally words would jump right off the page at me. It's like I talk about plants, If you grow plants around you, they are for you, right? They analyze your breath. They breathe your breath. You breathe their breath. They analyze your breath. They grow what you need for you, right? Mm-hmm. The only difference in human blood and chlorophyll, which is plant blood, is at the core of theirs is magnesium, and at the core of ours, it's iron. That's the only real difference. We also do photosynthesis just like they do. That's why you got to go out in the sun, get your vitamins D and stuff, right? In fact, in World War II, they used to give people chlorophyll when they ran out of blood because it would just make blood, right? Here's some chlorophyll, here's some iron. Go to town, body. Do what you're supposed to.
Get to work.
Get to work. That's what my art teacher used to say, work. Because we'd all be sitting around talking. Anyway, so yeah, the Pharisees, this is what they did. They wanted to control everything. And Jesus was kind of a rebel, and he went around doing stuff like this. I'm going to show you. All right. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. Jesus saw this. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, which means teacher, who sinned, this man or his parents? Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. This man or his parents that he was born blind? What a weird question. Right? Like Jesus is like, bro, neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus, but this happened so that the work of God might be displayed in his life. Watch this. As long as it is day, we must do the work of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. No one wants to work at night. You ever had a job where you worked at night? Ugh.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it. Third shift. While I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. Having said this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with his saliva, and put it on the man's eyes.
Ew.
Ooh, Jesus, what? Can you imagine? Have you watched The Chosen? Like, I can imagine Matthew standing there going, oh, and Nathaniel going, Jesus, oh my God, literally, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? You didn't have to do that. Because think about it. Jesus healed people just by walking by them. Some people touch his clothes. Some people he touched. Some people he just said, all right, you're healed. He was just being creative. He was just like, I'm bored with this. Let me watch this, guys. I'm going to put this mud in his eyes.
Perhaps it's also because of the faith of the person. They need to see something. Some don't, some do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the people around him. Watch me put this mud in his eyes.
Yeah.
They're like, that's gross. Holy spit. He said, go to the blind man. He told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. This word means sent. So the man went and washed and came home seeing. Oh, that's cool. His neighbors and those who had formerly seen him begging asked, Isn't this the same man who used to sit and beg? Some claimed that he was. Others said, no, he only looks like him. But he himself insisted, I am the man. He only looks like him. People weren't all that smart back in the day. Turns out they still aren't. How then were your eyes open? They demanded. He replied, the man they called Jesus made some mud and put it in my eyes, and they were also grossed out by this. Like, what? He did what? He told me to go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and then I could see. It was that simple, right? Laid it out for him. Where is this man? They asked him. He said, I don't know.
I didn't see which way he went.
Yeah, I don't care. I could see again. I didn't see. I like that. I didn't really see which way he went. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had been blind. Oh, no. They got the Pharisees involved. Great. Now the day on which Jesus had made the mud and opened the man's eyes was a Sabbath. This is what they didn't like. One of their rules. You can't do anything on the Sabbath day.
Nope.
Right? Therefore, the Pharisees also, it only said in the Ten Commandments, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. It didn't say, hey, you got to do all this stuff on the Sabbath or you can't do anything.
Right.
Therefore, the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He put mud on my eyes, man, and I washed it. Now I can see. Like
it's really simple. Like,
yeah.
There's 3 sentences involved.
Can you imagine this dude just got healed and he's like, look, I got my eyes back. I'd like to go out and see a bunch of stuff now.
Not your face.
Yeah, I've been blind since birth. I used to be able to, just hear how stupid you are. Now I can see it. Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath." But others asked, "Well, how can a sinner do such miraculous signs?" So they were divided, right?
So people haven't changed at all.
Even they couldn't keep it together. Finally, they turned again to the blind man. "What have you to say about him?" "It was your eyes he opened," the man replied. "Well, he's a prophet." The Jews still did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they sent for the man's parents. "Is this your son?" they asked. "Is this the one you say was born blind? How is it that he can see?" And then the man answered, "Wait.
No, you got to go.
Oh, I got to go over here?" "Okay. We know he is our son," the parents answered, "and we know he was born blind. But how he can see now or who opened his eyes, we don't know."
We weren't there.
"Ask him. He is of age. He will speak for himself." Right. I can imagine the dad going, "Look, man, this is a grown-ass man over here talking. Why can't you just believe him? Why'd you get me involved? I got stuff to do. I got sheep. I got goats. I got things growing. I got all kinds of stuff to do. And before the Sabbath day gets here, right?" So why are you messing with me?
Is this still the same day? They do all this in one day.
Yeah, why'd you call me out of there? All right, he's of age. His parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews, for already the Jews had decided that anyone who acknowledged that Jesus was the Christ would be put out of the synagogue. You can't come to church here. That is why his parents said, "He is of age, ask him."
Don't blame us.
Yeah. A second time, they summoned the man who had been blind. "Give glory to God," they said. "We know this man is a sinner." Right? So you're going to tell us what we want to hear, basically. He replied, "Whether he is a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see." Like, come on, guys.
That ended up as a famous song, right? I once was blind and now I see. And that's to point out whether he was a sinner or not, I don't know. Well, we don't know about other people either.
Right.
You can't run around being judgmental of people.
Right. Jesus said, "I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to save you." Like, we don't know. And this dude's sitting here like, "I don't care, man. I can see now. That's the point." Then they asked him, "What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes?" And he answered, "I've told you already, and you did not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples too?" Oh, what a smart ass. I love it. I love it. He's like me. Like, "What, dude? I told you already.
You want to come and walk with us? We're going a long way."
He's like, "Look at me. Look at me in my newly healed eyes. I can see how stupid you are."
I can now see you.
Then, of course, they hurled insults at him. That's the way of it. Man, things haven't changed. They hurled insults at him and said, "You are this fellow's disciple. We are disciples of Moses," even though we changed what he said. "We know that God spoke to Moses, but as for this fellow, we don't even know where he comes from." Okay. I tell you the truth. The man who does not... wait. Okay. Got to go over here. The man answered, "Now that is remarkable. You don't know where he comes from, yet he opened my eyes." He's still being smart.
They're having a little argument here.
I love it. We know that God does not listen to sinners. He listens to the godly man who does his will.
You just proved your own point,
right.
Then.
Nobody has ever heard of opening the eyes of a man born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. Oh, there they go. To this they replied, "You were steeped in sin at birth. How dare you lecture us?" As they threw him out.
They didn't like it. He proved them wrong. They said, "Get out."
That's everybody. Attack, attack. Mm-hmm. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, and when he found him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" "Who is he, sir?" the man asked. "Tell me so that I may believe, and then leave me alone so I can go see some stuff." Jesus said, "You have now seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you."
Oh, he's like, "Cool. I couldn't see before. Remember, like you left and I had to walk off blind, and now I can see."
Oh yeah, you're the guy, aren't you? The
like
voice
your
sounds
hair,
familiar. Yeah. Then the man said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshipped him. Jesus said, "For judgment I have come into this world, so that the blind will see, and those who see will become blind." Well, that's weird. Some Pharisees who were with him heard him say this and asked, "What, are we blind too?" And Jesus said, "If you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin, but now that you claim you can see, your guilt remains."
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, that made him mad. Let's see what they said. Or here he is in chapter 10. "I tell you the truth. The man who does not enter the sheep pen," this is what was important to me because this stood out to me because just right before that I was watching Expedition Bible and he was talking about the shepherd, right? Remember that video? And then the next day I came in and read this part. And then I had to go back and read the other part. And I was like, this is awesome. This is what the living word does. It comes out and talks to you. He says, I tell you the truth. The man who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The man who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. And the guy showed that in the video where these sheep herders over in Israel and stuff were walking with their sheep, and they would constantly be talking to them because they would follow them because they recognize their voice.
Yeah, they make specific noises. And then at night they go into pens. There's pens all over the place built out of rock, and the shepherds sit at the gate.
Yeah.
And if someone were to climb over the wall, right, they wouldn't belong there.
Right. Shepherd beat them up with that stick. They carry a stick for a reason, you know. Mm-hmm. Jesus used this figure of speech, but they did not understand what he was telling them. So therefore, Jesus said it again. He had to do this a lot. He's like, I tell you the truth. I am the gate for the sheep. All who ever come before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. Right? This is the thing that jumped out at me. Whoever comes in through me, right? It doesn't matter what denomination you are, what your religion is, what this is, what that is. It's whoever. Everybody's welcome, right? Let's read this next part. This is important too. He says, wait, where are we at? Okay. We'll find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the fullest. In the King James Version, it says, have it abundantly, right? Jesus doesn't want you to suffer. He wants you to have life abundantly. That means everything, money, happiness, joy, love, all the things. He says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd who owns the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. Just as the Father knows me and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen. This was important because the Jews were really hung up on no Gentiles allowed. The Gentiles are unclean. We don't break bread with them. We don't eat with them. This is why Jesus kept getting in trouble, because he healed people on the Sabbath day. He broke bread with the Gentiles. What are you doing? Right? They didn't like this. Even his disciples were kind of like, nah. And he's saying right here, I have other sheep that are not of this pen. They're not Jews, y'all, and they're still invited. There were Hellenistic people he preached to. There were Greeks that he preached to. All these people are taught. I have other sheep that are not of this pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there should be one flock and one shepherd. Right? That's awesome, because we'll stop right there for now. That's what stood out to me right there, is that he wanted everyone involved, right? He had to keep pounding this into his disciples' head. I remember one time they were like, there was a guy here. He was casting out devils in your name, and we rebuked him. And he said, don't rebuke him, because he's not against us. He's for us, right? We want everyone. Everyone is welcome here. There's nobody that's not welcome, right? It doesn't matter what church you go to. He said in the Bible, I am the vine and you are the branches. Anyone who abides in me and I in them will bear much fruit. If he just wanted one denomination, or, if it doesn't matter if you're Northern Baptist, Southern Baptist, East, West, South, all the things, Presbyterian, Methodist, Catholic, right? There are many branches. And as long as they abide in the one thing, you're a Christian, right? Then you will bear much fruit. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what he wants. He wants everybody. It doesn't matter if you heal somebody on the Sabbath day. They got mad at him one time. He said, hey, if your sheep fell in a hole on the Sabbath day, would you not lift them out? Get out of my face then. That's what's up. Go on. Right? That's what's up. Everybody's invited. Everybody. And then he said, when he talked about the hired hand, you ever worked with somebody that didn't give a shit about their job, didn't care? Yeah. You know what I mean? You're sitting over here trying to do good work, and they're like, they don't care about the tools. I used to work with people. I worked at one place where I was getting trained. It was LKQ. They delivered auto parts, right? I had to drive this big truck, and I was being trained. And the manager was training me, one of the managers. and there were roaches in the truck. I was like, oh, there's roaches here. He's like, yeah, man, these people are disgusting. They don't clean up anything. And I'm like, you're a freaking manager, bro. What do you mean they don't clean up anything? Isn't this supposed to go to somebody along the line that's going to clean it up?
You clean it up, hire someone to clean it up, tell them to clean it up. There's a lot of things that could happen there.
Yeah. Alana made my lunch, and I just wouldn't take it in there because I didn't want to bring home roaches, right? So that ended up being my truck. The first day I went to Lowe's, got all the stuff that you get rid of roaches with. There was gel I put around the perimeter. I bombed it, left it over the weekend, all kinds of stuff. I got rid of them roaches, cleaned it out. And the whole time I was thinking, man, this has gone up the line of managers. Every manager knew about it, and nobody did anything because none of them owned the company. They were just there and did not care. And that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Nobody's
going
going
to care about the company, about the truck, about the people working there.
Right.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Care about anything.
No, they'll run off and forget you. And it also reminded me of back in school when your friends would all be hyping you up for a fight. They'd be like, yo, man, I got your back, bro. I got your back. Let's go take care of this. Let's go take care of this, man. You got this, right? I got you. I got your back. And then you get there and you're like, yeah, my homies back here, they got my... Oh, guess it's just me.
Yeah.
You ever had to deal with that?
They were full of it.
Right. They run off and let the wolves get to you. Yeah, because nobody's got your back like God does. That's what's up. That's what's up. That is what's up, y'all.
That's
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. It gets me excited. I'm on fire. I'm happy. I'm happier than I've ever been. I feel a peace like I've never felt. And all I want to say is read the Bible. Even if you're an atheist. I used to be an atheist. I went from growing up Christian to being an atheist to being agnostic. I tried it all. And I ended up coming back, right? I kept getting called. My heart kept getting pricked. I was like, what is this? I got slammed down to the bottom. And when I started praying and giving my life over, I felt peace like I never felt before. Read your Bible. Even if you're atheist, what better way to prove it wrong than to read it, right? Read it and go, oh, look at this. I used to think, oh, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they're all telling the same story and it's not exactly the same. So it can't be right. And then I started thinking, oh, wait, it's really actually cool that they didn't get together and corroborate their story. And that, hey, we need to get this exactly the same or nobody's going to believe it. So that made me think, well, picture looking down in a room, Alana, right? You're looking down from above. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John sitting in each corner, and they're Jesus in the middle. They're not writing about him. They're painting him, right? Matthew's not going to walk over to Luke, who would be in the opposite corner because they're in order, Matthew, Mark, Luke. He's not going to walk over to Luke and say, hey, you're doing it wrong, man. Look at mine. This is what. No, they all saw it from a different perspective. They were fishermen. They weren't even qualified to be writers. They weren't trying to write eloquently. It was just the truth, right? And they were telling their perspective. Sometimes they were gone off doing something else. And they come back and be like, yo, what happened exactly? And this person's like, well, I wasn't here either. Go talk to, They were just writing down their perspective of it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. The different branches are beautiful, right? When Jesus sent the disciples out to preach, he sent them in all different directions. Right? Go out 2 by 2. No, we're not going to just go for the Jews. Go preach to everybody. Everybody. Teach them. Not preach them. Teach them. Yeah. Show them the way. It's a beautiful thing.
They were scared too.
Yeah,
and
I would be.
They were like, but they're going to reject us. And he said, that's okay. If they do, just dust your sandals off and keep it moving. Right?
Yeah, go and dust your sandals off. It's all right. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else to say?
No.
Just a beautiful smile. All right, look. You can do it. You can do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just open the Bible and read it. That's all I say. I'm not here to judge you. You know what I mean? That's one thing I can't stand is judgment. There's no, even Jesus said that. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to save you, right? And I want to be more like Jesus. I want to be more like this dude who was out here sleeping in a tent, right? Look at John the Baptist. He slept in the woods and ate bugs. Gross, right? Yeah. These weren't special, just, oh man, rich people riding around. That was the Pharisees. These people were intense. They had to run from all this. They were rebels. Healing people on the Sabbath day. Is there something on my face? All right. Anyway.
Yeah, so read your Bible for yourself.
That's right.
Check it out.
Check it out. We love you.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.